Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, and I'm hanging out with
the Rocker Chic
and
J-Dub.
And welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast.
Here we are.
Howdy.
This is what we do, and this is why we do it, because we love you guys. I gotta find my little story here. I got a good one for J-Dub this week.
Oh,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Loving it. Loving it. How are you guys? You guys good?
Good.
Yeah.
J-Dub's still at home because the weather outside is frightful.
Very.
Me and the Rocker Chic are in studio hanging out, in case you couldn't tell. Route 66 in the background. Anything exciting going on?
Oh, hey.
Look at that. Look at that
Yes.
beautiful Camptober. Guys, get out there and get them. It won't be too much longer. If I got this figured out right, this is going to be our Christmas Eve episode.
Ooh,
Hey.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's going to be a hodgepodge of different stuff in December, so hang in there. This is, if I get it right, this should be the Christmas Eve episode. So Thanksgiving is really close to us right now as we record, but Christmas is tomorrow. So hopefully you guys are all set and ready to go. Get out there for that late minute shopping.
Woo-woo.
CVS is still open, boys and girls. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Fine.
It'll be fine. Me and the Rocker Chic are almost completely done with our Christmas shopping, which is great.
Well, yeah, it's Christmas Eve. It better be.
It's true. It's
Future
true.
me says I'm done too.
Previously recorded.
Future you, yeah. Previously recorded in early December. Future Jen says that she's good to go. Everything's done, wrapped, and under the tree.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even have a tree up.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Previously, the tree is not up.
Future tree will be up.
Will the tree go up? Will we actually put it up?
If it keeps snowing, maybe not.
Yeah. Fuck it. We don't need a tree.
Buy one on Amazon. It comes right to the door.
Yeah.
I got stumbled.
I can carry that one up. It's fine. I dug it out today for you. So,
All right. Okay.
well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, there's a new report from Marjorie Taylor Greene as she tells Bill Maher, aliens may be demons.
Ooh,
I believe it.
okay.
She is a Georgia politician and conspiracy theorist, made this unusual remark during a television interview. There's no doubt that there are countless people across the U.S. that believe that we are not alone in the universe. But for some, the UFO phenomenon is perhaps less about aliens from space and more about angels and demons.
Okay.
During an appearance on Friday's Real Time with Bill Maher, U.S. House member Majority Taylor Greene expressed one such viewpoint when the topic of UFO disclosure was brought up. Bill asked, do you think demons and devils are real? She said, absolutely. I'm a Bible-believing Christian. And I believe those could be fallen angels. So just a little hint into a different theory on aliens.
Okay.
J-Dub, thoughts?
Aliens are not fallen angels. They're just fucking creepy.
The beauty of being able to kind of theorize on different aspects of it, like we talked about in a previous episode about if cryptids have a
Round
group
table?
that gets round table and that they get around to. That fucking chair is moving. Your chair is moving on its own.
My foot's doing it.
Oh.
I'm using it as a footrest.
If it starts rocking, then I'll start worrying. But,
Yeah, you see, I can't rock in this chair, so I'm swaying back and forth.
And then I was editing a video the other day. That's all I saw was J-Dub doing this the whole time. It's like, damn, she's getting it. Get it, girl. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool to be able to conspiracize, rabbit hole that shit. And I mean, that's just another possibility of what aliens could be if you want to go that way. Me personally, I think that they are beings from another planet, from outer space. I don't think that they're fallen angels or anything to do with Christianity. I think that they are seeking answers to questions that they have, or just, I mean, they're probably just standing up there with fucking their giant video cameras watching us, laughing at us, eating popcorn, going, humans are so dumb.
They found Nessie too, and Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Or they ones that sent them down.
Oh, that too.
Boom. You never know.
Never know.
You never know.
Maybe they have a giant projector on that ship and they just project a picture of Nessie.
Image, a blurry image for people to see.
It's holographic.
Hey, Jim, what are you doing tonight? Oh, well, let's see. Want to do the projector thing? Fuck yeah, let's do it. I hear there's a lady from Texas there.
We'll let her see it this time.
Oh, it's just a possibility, people. That's all I have to say. But yeah, it's fun to think and conspiracize or whatever you want to call it, and just have a little bit of fun with it.
Sure. Just not with aliens.
Aliens, ghosts. Do you want to talk about? I don't know that I really ever care to meet a demon.
No.
By any means. I'd be happy to talk to ghosts. I've had some interactions. I've had some EVPs. I've had some stuff like that. But I've been fortunate, unlike J-Dub, who had incidents. Everything I've got has been pretty mellow. So I don't know what I'd do if I really ran into something that was malicious. But we may end up finding out, as we got things coming up, boys and girls. Get excited about it. The new year is going to bring new adventures.
Woohoo! Yay!
Stupid me. What am I doing over here?
Nobody knows.
All right. I don't even fucking know. I just walk around in a daze most of the time trying to figure it all out. It's like, what am I doing?
At least you put pants on.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God.
Last thing I fucking need is Lindsay laughing at me and me showing up my underwear.
She'd be like, what are you doing?
What? Fuck it. I'll go get some scrubs.
Ah,
Hold on.
shit.
Shit.
Damn it.
I thought it was a little chilly out there.
You don't like my new shorts?
Well,
It's whatever.
they are festive, are they not? No comment.
Yeah, I think you have some festive ones.
I do.
You can
do.
wear.
Got some mistletoe ones. Watch out.
Yep.
Might even try to wear those later.
Uh-huh.
Bang bang. GDTD. Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
All right. Well, go ahead and mark your stamp here, because this is where the Rocker Chick takes over.
Oh, alrighty then. I'm going to tell you a couple short Christmas stories that I
Yay.
found. Since it is Christmas Eve, is that what you said?
I'm pretty sure that this is the Christmas Eve episode.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas to everyone.
If
Merry
not,
Christmas.
it will be.
Mary Chrysler.
All right. Let's see. This is called Jesus and the Elves. It's by John Leo of the U.S. News and World Report, columnist, and he's also the author of a book called 2 Steps Ahead of the Thought Police. All right. So here we go.
Okay.
And Joseph. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay.
You're going to start off like this.
I am.
At least I got a few sentences into my last
It
episode.
sounded better in my brain. Okay. And Joseph went up from Galilee to Bethlehem with Mary, his wife, who was with child. And she brought forth a son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. And the angel of the Lord spoke to the shepherds and said, I bring you tidings of great joy. Unto you is born a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. There's a problem with the angel, said a man passing by, as he explained to Joseph. Angels are widely regarded as religious symbols, and the stable was on public property, where such symbols were not allowed.
Okay,
Land.
Karen.
Or even hover. And I have to tell you, this whole thing looks to me very much like a nativity scene, he said sadly. That's a no, too. Joseph had a bright idea. What if I put a couple of reindeer over there near the ox and the ass? He said, eager to avoid sectarian strife. That would definitely help, said the man, who knew as well as anyone that whenever a savior appeared, judges usually like to be on the safe side and surround it with deer or woodland creatures of some sort. Just to clinch it, throw a candy cane and a couple of elves and snowman too, he said. No court can resist that.
I love it.
Mary asked, what does my son's birth have to do with snowmen? Snow persons, cried a young woman,
Oh, God.
changing the subject before it veered dangerously towards religion. Off to the side of the crowd, a Philistine was painting the nativity scene. Mary complained that she and Joseph looked too tattered and worn in the picture. Artistic license, he said. I've got to show the plight of the haggard or the homeless. The inn was just full, said Mary. Whatever, said the painter.
Somebody calls.
Rum-pa-pum-pum. 2 women began to argue fiercely. One said she objected to Jesus' birth because it privileged motherhood. The other scoffed at virgin births, but said that if they encouraged more attention to diversity in family forms and the rights of single mothers, well, then she was all for them. I'm not a single mother, Mary started to say, but she was cut off by a third woman who insisted that swaddling clothes are a form of child abuse, since they restrict the natural movement of babies. With the arrival of 10 child advocates, all trained to spot infant abuse and manger rash.
CPS.
Mary and Joseph were pushed to the edge of the crowd, where arguments were breaking out over how many reindeer or what mix of reindeer and seasonal sprites had to be installed to compensate for the infant's unfortunate religious character. An older man bustled up, bowling over two merchants who had been busy debating whether an elf is the same as a fairy and whether the elf fairy should be shaking hands with Jesus in the crib or merely standing to the side, jumping around like a sports mascot. I'd hold off on the reindeer, the man said, explaining that the use of asses and oxen as picturesque backdrops for nativity scenes carries a subliminal message of human dominance. He passed out two leaflets, one denouncing manger births as invasions of animal space, the other arguing that stables are penned environments where animals are incarcerated against their will. He had no opinion about elves or candy canes. Signs declaring "Free the Bethlehem too" began to appear, referring to the obviously exploited ass and ox. Someone said the halo on Jesus' head was elitist. Someone said the halo on Jesus' head was elitist. Mary was exasperated. "And what about you, old mother?" she said sharply to an elderly woman. "Are you here to attack the shepherds as prison guards and excluded species? Maybe to complain that singing in Latin identifies us with our Roman oppressors, or just to say that I should have skipped patriarchal religiosity and joined some dumb New Age goddess religion?" "None of the above," said the woman. "I just wanted to tell you that the foreign visitors are here." Sure enough, the three wise men rode up. The crowd gasped. "They're all male and not very multicultural." "Balthazar here is black," said one of the visitors. "Yes, but how many of you are gay or disabled?" Someone shouted. A committee was quickly formed to find an impoverished lesbian wise person among
Round
the halt
table.
and lame of Bethlehem. A calm voice said, "Be of good cheer, Mary. You have done well, and your son will change the world." At last, a sane person, Mary thought. She turned to see a radiant and confident female face. The woman spoke again. "There is one thing, though. Religious holidays are important. But can't we learn to celebrate them in ways that unite, not divide? For instance, instead of all of this business about Gloria in Excelsis Deo, why not just say season's greetings?" Mary said, "You mean my son has entered a human history to deliver the message, 'Hello, it's winter'?" That's harsh, Mary," said the woman. "Remember, your son could make it big in midwinter festivals if he doesn't push the religious thing too far. Centuries from now, in nations yet unborn, people will give each other pricey gifts and have big office parties on his birthday. That's not chopped liver." "Let me get back to you," Mary said. That's the end.
Yeah, they have Christmas parties where they put their butts on a copy machine.
I just thought that's how, he definitely made that more of a
modern
take on.
Yeah, it took me a minute because I was like, "Oh, we're in the manger. We're in Jerusalem or in Bethlehem, or little town of Bethlehem, yeah, right."
Mm-hmm.
And and then all of a sudden it's like, "No, wait a minute, you can't do this. Wait a second, that doesn't happen then." Fuck.
You never know.
You about fucking broke my brain is what happened. I loved it. I thought that was great. I laughed all the way through that. That's amazing.
This was my favorite part.
Yeah. Yes, if you're watching on Patreon, go. If you're part of Patreon, go there. Watch
You're
the
gonna want
Rocker
to
Chic.
join
Watch my
just to see it.
animated.
Sell this story.
Anyways,
Funny.
I thought that was good. So there's one. Jeremy enjoyed it. He was laughing.
I did. I enjoyed that very, very,
That
very
was good.
much. I wish I could recite that whole fucking thing over in my brain.
You want here? You can,
Yeah,
You
I
can
want my kid
reread
to
it.
Read it later.
You can
Yeah.
read it later. Be talking about. Do you know this is what really happened? And
Yeah, this is what happened that night in fucking Bethlehem when the fucking was it. I better be careful because I don't want to, out anybody. But apparently, the three wise men, one was gay and one was what?
No, they said that they needed to have.
Oh, okay. They should have been
Yeah, should have. They weren't very diversified. is what-
snow persons. They're not snowmen. They're snow persons. Watch out, Lindsay. I'm coming for your ass with that one.
Ah,
All right, now I have kind of a haunted story.
Cool.
This one's called Haunted Christmas. This might be a little quicker than I thought it would be, but all right. The soft thud of following footsteps echoed behind him as he hurried through the snowflakes towards home. They kept pace with him, quickening when he quickened and slowing when he slowed. It was creepy. His flesh crawled at the sound, and he sped up, cursing himself for walking home alone from the midnight Christmas Mass. Normally not a religious man, the middle-aged bachelor had suddenly been struck by a wish to hear the old Christmas songs sung once again by a church choir, and he had walked across town to attend the service. Now he regretted his choice as he passed dark house after dark house in the snowy night, and the footsteps ever followed. He sped up until he was nearly running and skidded into his street. A few more paces brought him to the bottom of his front steps, and as he dashed up them, he realized suddenly that the following footsteps had ceased abruptly. He glanced behind him at the cross street from which he had just turned, and saw only one pair of footprints in the snow-covered street, when there should have been two. He frowned in puzzlement, and then shuddered as a cold breeze struck him, driving snow against his collar and slammed against the door. Almost, it seemed, to pass through the door. But that was superstitious nonsense. His hand was shaking as he unlocked the front door and hurried inside. He expected darkness, but was delighted to see the yellow glow of firelight coming from his study doorway upstairs. His old housekeeper, whom he thought firmly asleep in her attic bedroom, must have lit the fire pending his return. He shrugged out of his coat and paused for a moment, amazed to find it still warm and dry, though he had walked for more than a mile through a snowstorm. It was almost as if he had been walking in a bubble of calm air, though he remembered the soft snowflakes hitting his face when he first stepped out of church, before the mysterious footsteps began. His shudder was interrupted by a shout of greetings as his old friend, Andy, came hurrying out of the study. His whole face lit up in a grin at the unexpected surprise. The two men shook hands heartily and retreated back to the warmth of the firelight, talking so fast they stumbled over each other's words. Andy had left town years ago to take a government job in D.C., and they hadn't seen each other since. Nearly an hour passed before it occurred to him that his guest might be hungry. His offer of a meal was instantly accepted, but Andy was unwilling to leave the comfort of the fire to eat in the kitchen. So he jogged downstairs alone to fetch some food. He didn't wonder at his friend's reluctance to join him in the kitchen. Andy had looked very pale and had kept shivering with cold while they talked. He hoped his friend wasn't ailing from anything. A few moments later, he was back with warmed up meat and potatoes and a couple of glasses of beer. Apologizing profusely as he handed Andy a plate for the mismatched dinnerware. Apologizing profusely as he handed Andy a plate for the mismatched dinnerware. Andy just laughed and hunkered down to eat. When they were both finished, he showed his friend to a guest room and then tumbled into his own bed to sleep. All his apprehension caused by mysterious footsteps forgotten in the visit of his friend. He jumped out of bed Christmas morning and dashed immediately downstairs to the guest room to rouse his friend. Andy wasn't there, and the bed had not been slept in. That was odd. He ran down to look in the study, but Andy wasn't there either. And one plate full of food was sitting on the end table beside his old friend's chair. It was completely untouched, though he'd seen Andy eating it the night before. Skin creeping at the thought, he ran to the kitchen and asked his housekeeper if she'd seen Andy, but the housekeeper had seen no one, either the previous night or this morning. He flopped down on the bottom step of the staircase, completely baffled. Where had Andy gone? It was a mystery that plagued him all Christmas Day, and he did not enjoy the holiday dinner at all, a fact that annoyed his housekeeper. He was awakened the next morning from a restless sleep by the sound of the front door bell. He stumbled out of bed and was splashing water from the bedside pitcher onto his sleepy eyes when a knock came to his bedroom door. When he answered, his housekeeper handed him a telegram that had just arrived. As she hurried back downstairs to prepare his breakfast, he opened it curiously, not knowing who would be telegraphing him so urgently. As he read the telegram, he started to tremble. The message was short and to the point. Andy's family regretted to inform him that his old friend Andy had passed away on Christmas Eve in his home in Washington, D.C. He sat down hard on the bed, the telegram fluttering away from his hand. It must have been Andy who had followed him home on Christmas Eve. That would explain the eerie footsteps in the dry coat in the middle of the snowstorm. He'd spent Christmas Eve with a ghost.
Yeah. But his best friend. That was a good one, too.
Wow.
Wow.
Did it give you goosebumps at the end? A little bit? I mean, you kind of knew where it was going, but I mean,
yeah.
still. Listen, it's a great story. That's a great story. You hear about this a lot. People pass away and show up at the bedroom, in the bedroom at the foot of people's bed just to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I love this story because they actually spent time together. It wasn't like you woke up in the middle of the night to see your great aunt standing there and you just kind of knew. But, he came and he spent a lot of time there. And quit moving that chair,
sorry.
lady. But yeah, I loved it. That was awesome. That was wonderful. Those are two great Christmas stories.
Cool. I'm glad you guys enjoyed them.
She brought me one the other day and then was like,
it's too kidsy. I couldn't read it.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not reading this one. I'm like, what the hell?
Although he sat in the bedroom and read it all.
I did. Because I want to see how it rolled out, but you're killing me, McFly.
Nah, sorry.
All right. So Jen sent one to Bobbi to read.
Okay. This one's called The Girl on the Road. The snow was falling harder than the weather report promised. Thick, glittering flakes blowing sideways across the windshield as Clara Mathis kept her hands locked at 10 and 2. Her wipers scraped furiously, but the storm had a mind of its own, swallowing Highway 6 like a hungry beast. Great, she muttered. Merry frickin' Christmas. She had set out 4 hours earlier, planning to surprise her parents with an early arrival. Work had been hell. She hadn't been home in years, and something about this Christmas felt like a line being drawn, like she had to be there. Her dad's voice over the phone had sounded thinner than usual. Her mom had cried when she said she was coming. Now she wasn't so sure she'd make it at all. Her phone had lost signal 20 minutes ago. The radio was pure static, and the storm was thickening in a way that made it feel alive. She squinted through the blur of the white. Something moved on the shoulder of the road. A small figure, bare legs, no coat. Claire slowed automatically, leaning closer to the windshield. What the hell? It was a girl, 8 or 9 years old, standing alone in the blizzard, like she didn't feel the cold at all. Her thin white nightgown whipped like torn paper in the wind. She had long blonde hair matted to her face, and she wasn't waving for help. She was simply watching Claire's car approach, her head tilted just enough to be wrong. Claire pulled over before she consciously decided to. The girl didn't move. Claire rolled down her window 2 inches. Sweetie, are you okay? Are you lost? There was no answer, only those pale eyes, wide, glassy, and unblinking. Claire's breath fogged the air. Do you need help? The girl lifted her arm slowly and pointed across the road, a direction, a command. Claire followed the gesture. A narrow, unplowed lane cut through the trees, one she hadn't noticed before. Half-buried wooden sign, white letters nearly erased by age. Holly Farms, 0.5 miles. Claire frowned. Is that where you live? The girl didn't nod, didn't shake her head. She just kept pointing, strands of hair freezing to her cheek. Claire sighed, unlocking her door slightly. Okay, listen, I'm freezing, and you must be too. Why don't you get in the car and I'll take you? The girl suddenly dropped her arm. Then she smiled. It wasn't a child's smile. And before Claire could react, the girl opened her mouth wider, far wider than a jaw should open, and a deep, low sound pushed out, vibrating through the storm. A whisper like a blade sliding across stone. You're on the list. Claire's entire body turned to ice. What? Hey! The girl blinked once and vanished. No footsteps, no running, no slow fading away, just gone. The storm howled as if laughing. Claire slammed the window, shut and locked her doors with shaking hands. For several long seconds, she simply gripped the steering wheel and tried to breathe. She should leave. She should turn around. She should pretend she never saw anything. But she glanced again at the sign, Holly Farm. If the girl was hurt, or if someone else was, she couldn't just drive away. God, she whispered, this is how horror movies start. She put the car in drive and turned down the lane. The snow swallowed her car whole. The lane wound tightly through pine trees so tall that they blocked what little daylight was left. The storm muted the world, turning every sound into a hush of white noise. After several minutes, Claire saw lights, faint, flickering amber through the storm. A farmhouse emerged from the dark, large, old, Victorian style, its windows glowing with watchful eyes, or like watchful eyes. A wreath hung crooked on the door. Red Christmas bulbs lit a sagging porch railing. A wooden sleigh, half buried in the snow, sat beside the house. But something felt wrong. The lights flickered like real fire, not electricity. No tire tracks, no footprints, no signs of life. yet the lights were on. Claire parked near the barn, her tires crunching through powder that looked untouched for days. As soon as she stepped out, a strange warmth brushed her skin. Just a brief shimmer, like walking through a patch of heated air. She froze. A faint scent drifted towards her on the wind. Cinnamon, pine, a hint of burning wood. And something else, a sour note beneath the sweetness. Claire swallowed hard and approached the porch. The door creaked open before she touched it. "Hello," she called, voice cracking. "Is anyone here? I saw a little girl outside and..." The house breathed warm air out at her. Actual warmth, like stepping too close to an oven. Snow melted instantly off her boots. She stepped inside. The door shut behind her. The interior looked like a Christmas postcard, left to rot. Garland hung in drooping loops across the ceiling. Candles burned in every room, their flames dancing too high, too steady. A massive Christmas tree stood in the corner, its ornaments antique and dull with dust. Something rustled deeper in the house. "Hello," Claire called again. "I'm not here to trespass. There's a girl outside who needs..." A voice drifted from the next room. "Come in where it's warm." Claire froze like a deer in headlights. The voice was deep, male, and calm. Against all instinct, she stepped forward. A living room opened before her, stone fireplace crackling with a fire that seemed too bright, too tall. A high-backed chair sat in front of it, and in that chair, a man. Thin, gray-haired, skin pale as paper, hands folded neatly on his lap. He stared at the fire, not turning to look at her. "You must be freezing," he said. "Storm came in fast. Hardly anyone gets this far anymore." Claire forced a breath. "Is this Holly Farms? Is this your home?" His jaw twitched. "Holly Farm. Yes. What little is left of it." "Sir, I saw a child outside in the snow. She looked terrified, I thought. You shouldn't have followed her." Claire's blood ran cold. "I what?" The man finally turned, slowly, too slowly. His eyes caught the firelight and reflected it. "Some list shouldn't be delivered," he whispered. A log popped in the fire, spraying sparks. Claire backed away. "Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm leaving. I'll call for help when I get signal again." "You won't." The man's smile stretched his cheeks thin. "This place doesn't exist on maps anymore." The floor creaked overhead, footsteps, light, child-sized. Claire spun around. On the staircase, the little girl stood, hands at her side, staring down at her with those frozen, unblinking eyes. Claire's heart stuttered. "Oh my God, sweetie, are you okay? You need to come with me." The girl whispered, "He's checking it again." The man in the chair rose, joints cracking like brittle twigs. "You saw her? So now you're part of it." Claire backed towards the door, one hand blindly searching for the knob. "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm leaving right now." But when she reached behind her, her hand found only smooth wood. No knob, no hinges, no seam. The door was gone. The man approached her with a slow, steady gait. "Every Christmas Eve he comes," he said softly, "not to bring gifts, to collect debts." "Who?" Claire gasped. "The keeper of the list." The girl descended the stairs, her bare feet silent. "He watches," she whispered. "He remembers." Claire's pulse hammered. "I have no idea what any of this means." The man's face twisted. "Don't you?" Claire opened her mouth, but then something hit her like a single violent flash of memory, so fast and sharp it almost knocked her off her feet. A hospital room, her father, machines, her phone buzzing again and again, her ignoring it, missing his final Christmas, missing his final breath. She staggered backwards. "No," she whispered. "No, that wasn't. I didn't mean." The girl's gaze pierced her. "You broke a promise," she said. "They always come for promise breakers." The house groaned, the walls expanding, shifting like a living thing waking from sleep. The man stepped aside, head bowed. "He's here." The lights flickered once, twice, then died. But the fire in the hearth burned bright, too bright, and within the flames a shadow began to form. A tall figure, long limbs, antlers spreading like black branches, eyes glowing ember red. Claire couldn't breathe. The creature stepped out of the fire, its hoofs clacking across the wooded floor. A fur-lined cloak dragged behind it, tattered with soot and ash. A sack slung over its shoulder writhed as if something inside was struggling. The girl knelt. So did the old man. The creature raised its head and sniffed the air. Then it spoke in a voice like crackling logs. "Claire Mathis?" Her legs nearly buckled. "You have been very, very naughty." Claire screamed and stumbled backwards, but the creature moved unnaturally fast, appearing in front of her in a blink. It towered over her, its antlers scraping the ceiling beams. "I didn't do anything," she gasped. "I didn't hurt anyone." "No," the creature tilted its head. "Not all harm spills blood." It touched one long clawed finger to her forehead. Memories slammed into her. Her mother crying alone at the kitchen table, the Christmas she didn't visit. Her younger sister begging her to come home when their father went into surgery. Her father awake and frightened, asking for her not answering. Claire sobbed, "Stop, please, please stop." The creature withdrew its hand as if satisfied. "You owe a debt." Its voice rattled the floorboards. "And debts must be paid." The sack twitched violently. Something inside clawed against the fabric. Claire shook her head wildly. "I'm not going with you. I won't." "You will," the creature whispered, "just like the rest." The little girl approached the creature and tugged its cloak. She followed me here. That means she can see me." "Yes," the creature agreed. "She can see, and she can be taken." The creature reached for Claire, and the house exploded with red light. Flames moved up the garlands curled and blackened. Candles burst like bulbs filled with gasoline. Claire threw her arms over her face as heat seared the air. Outside, the storm intensified, wind howling, snow smashing against windows like fists. The creature stood motionless in the inferno. Fire didn't touch it. Fire bowed to it. The man in the chair dropped to his knees. "Please," he begged, "not again. Please, take her and be gone." A clawed hand struck his face, sending him sprawling. "You think you command me?" The girl backed into her corner, her pale eyes flickering with something like fear. Claire forced herself to move. Smoke was filling the room rapidly. She stumbled towards a side door, one she hadn't noticed before, hoping, praying. It opened. A hallway stretched ahead, too long, far too long for the size of the house outside. Behind her, the creature snarled. "Run," the girl whispered, appearing beside her. "But he'll follow." Claire didn't wait. She sprinted into the hallway. The hallway twisted, narrowing, the wallpaper blistering from heat. Portraits hung crooked on the walls, Victorian paintings of families with scratched out faces. As Claire ran, the faces in the frames began to appear different, more familiar. Her father, her mother, her sister, her childhood friends she lost contact with, people she'd hurt, people she'd disappointed. Their eyes followed her. "Stop!" Claire screamed, but the portraits only leaned closer, their mouths stretching into silent accusations. She pushed herself faster. Behind her, hoofs clattered. The creature's voice shook the corridor. You cannot outrun what you owe. Claire burst through the halls and stumbled into a kitchen, old and rustic, a large wooden table, a half-eaten Christmas dinner covered in mold. 3 chairs were pulled out. 3 sets of footprints circled the table, as if someone or something had walked around it. Where am I? Claire gasped, grabbing her chest. The girl appeared again, silent as a ghost. You're inside the list. Claire whirled around. What does that mean? The list remembers every name, the girl said softly. It keeps them. It keeps us. Us? Claire whispered. The girl nodded. We're all people who didn't keep our promises. People who broke Christmas vows. People who let others suffer. Claire backed away. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Intent doesn't change the debt. A bellow shook the walls. The creature was close. Claire grabbed a kitchen knife, rusty, blunt, but something, and darted into the next room. She climbed stairs 2 at a time, pushing through a rattling wooden door into a freezing attic. Dust clouded the air. Old toys lay scattered around. A rocking horse, a doll missing its face, a sled with a broken runner. Claire's breath fogged in the frigid air. Her lungs burned. The creature's shadow stretched up the stairs below. She ran to the far window, frosted over. She scraped at it, desperate, and saw nothing but endless white. The storm swallowed everything. A whisper behind her, you can't leave. The girl stood inches away, her eyes darker now. Why are you following me? Claire demanded. Because I'm trying to help, the girl said softly. I know how he works. I know the rules. What rules? The girl hesitated, hands twisting. The list can only keep you if you accept the guilt, if you believe you deserve to be taken. Claire stared. I what? You have to fight the regret, the girl whispered. I didn't. That's why I'm stuck here. That's why the others are too. A loud shriek cut the air. The creature entered the attic, antlers scraping the beams, eyes burning brighter. The girl backed away. He's stronger this year, she whispered. He always gets stronger. The creature raised its hand. The house shuddered, and the floor dropped out from beneath Claire. She plummeted into darkness, falling, screaming, weightless. Then she slammed on to hard ground, cold, wet, silent. Claire groaned, forcing her eyes open. She wasn't in the house anymore. She was in the hospital corridor from years ago. Everything was exactly the same. Beige floors, fluorescent lights, Christmas decorations taped to the walls, except the people walking past her had no faces. Their heads were smooth like dolls, and their footsteps made no sound. Claire scrambled backwards, trembling. No, not this. The intercom beeped. A nurse's voice echoed through the hallway. Code blue, room 314, code blue. Her father's room. Claire clapped her hands over her ears. No, I'm not doing this. I know I messed up. I know I wasn't there. I know. The lights flickered. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She froze. Slowly she pulled it out. On the cracked screen, a single notification glowed. 26 missed calls from your mom. Behind her, the creature whispered, Do you understand your sin now? Claire spun around. It stood over her, filling the hallway from wall to wall. I didn't know how bad it was, she whispered. I didn't know he was dying. You chose not to know. Claire felt her knees shaking. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The creature leaned close, its breath cold as earthly winter. Sorry is not enough. The hospital dissolved. Darkness swallowed her whole. Claire hit the ground again, coughing. She looked up. The farmhouse stood before her, but now she saw it clearly. Rotting boards, shattered windows, candles melted to stumps, garland decayed into brown, brittle threads. The house hadn't been lived in for decades. The warmth had been an illusion. The girl appeared beside her again, trembling. She seemed less ghostly now, more human, her cheeks pink, her breath steaming. "Why are you still here?" Claire whispered. "Because he owns me," the girl said, "just like he will own you." "He doesn't own me," Claire growled. The girl tilted her head. "Not yet." A thud echoed behind them. The creature emerged from the house, dragging its sack. The sack bulged, screamed, cried. Children's voices, adults, hundreds. Claire clamped her hands over her ears. "Stop!" "You ran from your guilt," the creature said, approaching. "Now you'll run forever." The girl tugged Claire's sleeve. "Fight it," she whispered urgently. "Fight it. Fight him." "How?" Claire shouted. The girl looked at the creature, fear flashing across her face. "Don't fear him. Fear keeps you here. Regret keeps you weak." Claire stared at the creature, its monstrous form, its burning eyes, and beneath the terror something shifted. Anger. "I'm not letting you take me," she said, shakily rising. "I made mistakes, but I'm not leaving my family like this. I'm not dying here." The creature paused, then it snarled. "Then prove you deserve to leave." Claire grabbed the girl's hand. Together they ran. The storm swallowed them instantly, snow slashing sideways, wind screaming like tortured souls. The creature thundered behind them, its hoofs shaking the earth, trees bent in its wake. Claire could barely see. "Where are we going?" she shouted. "Back to the road," the girl yelled. "Back to where you came in." But the farm wasn't there before. "It's always there," the girl said breathlessly. "It shows itself to those who need punishment." The trees opened suddenly, forming a clearing, and there, barely visible through white, Claire saw her car. Her heart leapt. Thank God! But before she could take another step, the creature appeared in front of them, blocking the path. The girl screamed. Claire froze, chest heaving. "You can't leave owing a debt," the creature growled. Claire swallowed hard. "Then take me. Leave her." The creature paused. The girl stared at Claire, stunned. "Take you?" the creature repeated. "Why?" "Because she's just a child," Claire said, voice cracking. "She doesn't deserve this. I do." Snow fell silent. Even the wind stopped. The girl whispered, "Claire, don't." The creature leaned close. "You would sacrifice yourself," it murmured. "You would give your Christmas for hers?" "Yes," Claire whispered, "I would." The creature tilted its head, then it smiled. The storm receded instantly, like someone pressed mute on the world. The creature stepped aside. The girl's breath caught. Does that mean—" Claire squeezed her hand. "Go." The girl hesitated only a second, then she ran to the clearing's edge. Her small form blurred, then dissolved in glowing embers. She was gone. She was free. Claire felt tears burning hot trails down her cheeks. The creature stepped towards her. "It seems," it rumbled, "you have finally learned the lesson of the list." Claire faced it, trembling but unbroken. "What happens now? Do you take me?" The creature reached into its cloak and pulled out a scroll, ancient, brittle, covered in soot. It unrolled it slowly. Claire saw hundreds of names, thousands. The ink glowed faintly. The creature's fingers moved down the list, stopping on her name. Claire Mathis, pending. The creature stared at it for a long moment, then it dragged its claws across the letters. Her name vanished. Erased. Claire gasped. "You are forgiven," the creature said, "but forgiveness has a cost." "What cost?" "You will remember." Claire frowned. "Remember what?" The creature leaned close, its voice a whisper of winter wind. "Everything." The ground opened beneath her. She fell into blinding white. Claire awoke in her car, engine running, air vents blasting warm air, phone buzzing beside her. The storm was gone. The lane to Holly Farm was gone. Only smooth, undisturbed snow stretched before her. She grabbed her phone, hand shaking uncontrollably. She had signal. A new text from her mother. Are you close, honey? Drive safe. We can't wait to see you. Claire pressed a hand to her chest. It was over. She was alive. But as she put the car in drive, she caught a flicker of movement in her rearview mirror. A small girl standing at the edge of the trees, healthy, warm, smiling. She lifted her hand in a gentle wave. Claire breathed out a shaky laugh and waved back. Then she drove towards home. 1 year later, Christmas Eve, Claire sat at her mother's table laughing at her sister as her sister poured wine. The house glowed with warmth, real warmth, and love crackled in every corner. She had come home every holiday since, kept every promise, never missed a call again. Yet every night she felt a presence at the edge of her dreams, not malicious, not hungry, just watching, remembering. As the clock struck midnight, Claire stepped onto the porch to breathe in the cold winter air. Snow drifted softly, peaceful. But across the yard near the tree line she saw a tall shadow, antlers silhouetted against the moon. Her breath hitched. The creature raised a clawed hand and tapped something against the trunk of a pine tree. Something rolled down the bark, landing in the snow. Claire walked towards it slowly. It was a scroll. She hesitated, then unrolled it. Thousands of names glowed faintly. The creature's shadow pointed to a new section. Claire read the header. The Saved. Her name was first on the list. She looked up. The creature was gone. Snow fell silently, and somewhere in the distance she heard children laughing, free at last. Claire pressed the list to her chest. Merry Christmas, she whispered. Now that I have no voice. Oh.
Well,
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Is that Krampus?
no.
No, it's not.
Mm-mm. That was an AI story.
That was an AI story.
Oh. That was pretty good for an AI story.
Yeah.
I don't know, this whole AI thing. It's freaking scary.
But it had you drawn in, though, didn't it?
Yeah. That's what I was like. I even had read it last night. And I was like,
Yeah.
but the way
I
she
did
read
get
it.
I did get a little distracted during your story, though. Shasta made it up on the bed.
And then she farted.
Yeah, that was the best part. Dang. All right. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed the three stories. I know I did. I enjoyed all three of them. I thought they were great.
Cool.
I liked them.
Cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Once again, we need to get you reading books for Audible.
Yeah.
Make millions.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. Let me know. Should the Rocker Chick jump on board and start reading stories for Audible? She's got a good voice for it.
100%.
We can do a demo. Yeah, we do a demo for you. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry
We
Christmas.
hope-
Merry
we hope,
Chrysler.
We hope everything. We hope that your day is just perfect, and thank you for spending Christmas Eve day with us and the Rocker Chick story. I don't think you'd be disappointed on any of those three stories. So
Nope.
no. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here. So until next week, until the new year. Wait, we'll have one more before the new year. Yeah, okay. Keep it spooky, guys. We'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal podcast. check us out at UnitedStatesOfParanormal.com, where you can find our Spotlight of the Month, Fan of the Month, and all of our amazing merchandise. Or you can find us on social media at Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/TUSOP.
Please check out the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. Golden 80s, Indiana Chiefs Fans, Gridiron Kings, Murd Nerds, The Nostalgia Tug, Real Terror, and the Puck Yeah podcast. But you can still find Golden Image Podcast, A Quart of Books and Booze, and The Call Guys, wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
And if you have a location or a story that you would like for us to check into, please email us at the United States of Paranormal @gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for all of your support. Bye.